Hi, my name is Joan Jennings-Staley, and I'm a volunteer at the National Museum of the United States Army. I wanted to volunteer at the Army Museum because I spent 32 years of my life in the Army, and I could not have thought of a better way than to continue being around the Army, which I absolutely love. And I thought that it was a good way for me to give back, for me to get people to understand what I was involved in for 32 years. Now, this one is a good one. It is the M16A1 weapon. That's in Gallery 9. Now, why is it my favorite? Because it was manufactured in my hometown, Paterson, New Jersey. And as a little girl at 8 years old, when I was in school number 7, I went to the museum where they were manufacturing them at, as well as the manufacturing plant. So the Colt plant was in my hometown. I got to see it as a little girl. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Then I grow up, I joined the Army, and I get to shoot this weapon, and I become a little bit part of the history, but now it's in the Army's museum. And I can go tell people, hey, look what they did in my hometown. So that's just a little piece, and that's one of my favorite ones, but it's the favorite one for me. My favorite part about volunteering in a museum is that I get to see, meet, and greet people of all different walks of life. And that continues pretty much what I've done while I was in the military. So I get to see people, I get to talk to them, I get to interact with all the other volunteers, I get to hear their stories, I get to hear the people's stories that come in, I get to hear the curator, I get to hear all the other people that work at the museum, and everybody has a story. I know that that's like a cliche thing, but everybody has a story. It is so cool to listen to other people tell their story. Wow, this one is real cool. And the reason why I say it's real cool and it's great is because as a female soldier, as a woman, I always tried to look for what we did too, because they always toot the gentleman's horn. So I figured I'd toot the ladies' horns. Um, the 6 888, which was a unit of all females in World War II that took on the challenge of getting rid of all the mail that had piled up. And this unit was approximately 800 women, and they were all African American women. And they served in World War II. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't know about it. So I figured that's something that maybe one day that'll be one of the roving exhibits that they have there. So I thought that was pretty interesting because I feel like they paved the way, and that had some to do with what my mom had told me about, and just what the older women told me about, just women, period. Because just like with the Signal Corps women that knew the code and they knew how to speak a different language, and they helped out in World War II. So women have always been a great part of the Army. And I think by the museum being there, more people are going to find out, hey, wait a minute, women did some things we didn't know anything about. And it wasn't in the history books. Or people are now starting to remodify the history books to say, hey, wait a minute, women were an integral part of what we had going on. And that these women paved the way for me prior to me coming in the military. I have one, there was a gentleman, and I cannot recall his name right at this present moment, but his daughter and his son brought him from Pennsylvania. And he was a World War II veteran. He was like 93. And I got a chance to talk with this veteran. I spent time with him. He walked through his portion, but he came in where I was at by the Berlin Wall, and he was talking to me, And I explained to him about I was there during the Berlin Wall coming down, and that I had spent time in Germany and some other things. And I said to him, I said, I want to hear about you. Talk to me. Tell me you. And I got to talk to him. And then finally his daughter and his son was like, okay, Dad, you taking up more of her time. I was like, no, leave him here. I want to talk to him some more. And it was just an honor. It was just a pleasure and an honor to just talk to him and to learn what he did when he was in the military, and to see him and for him to reminisce and to go over what he did when he was in the military. And again, he paved the way for us younger soldiers to be who we are and to do what we were doing. I have a lot of them, but I will tell you the one thing, the one item within my whole entire career that I will always remember, because it, it's has stuck with me now. I served my country and my nation, and on my retirement, I got to do my retirement, have my retirement held in the Hall of Heroes at the Pentagon. My whole entire family was present. My mom was 91 at the time. My whole entire family was present. All of my siblings and their children, all of my friends, family, and everyone that I knew was present. But what gave me the greatest pleasure of having served in the military was when I received the presidential's letter, the president's certificate, and my Legion of Merit that says, a job well done, and thank you for serving your nation. And I actually then took a deep breath and said, hey, look yourself in the mirror and be proud of what you have accomplished as a soldier, and all the things that you got to enjoy while you were doing your time and performing your duty and taking care of the mission and the soldiers and the officers that were with you and under you. That your experience that you have in the Army, that's your journey. Your journey is the journey that you're going to take, be it good or bad, times, peacetime, wartime. That journey I felt that I took was the journey that God allowed me to take, and that He kept me on a beaten path to just enjoy. When I went to Germany and they said to me, you're going to live on the German economy. And I'm like, but I don't speak German. They said, well, you will learn. And I'm like, for real? And so I learned German, and I made some outstanding friends. I learned a language that I didn't think I could learn at first. I learned the cultures, the customs. Then I went to Korea and I did the same. And so it has been just a true, a rewarding experience. And I think that if someone wants to travel, learn, and be around people of all nationalities, all ages, and all backgrounds of any kind, the Army is where you might want to go, because they will send you to some great places. And we have more places than the other branches do anyway, too. So you want to go to the Army. I'm partial to the Army. Oh, to be able to walk from the beginning when the Army first started to present, but to see those figures that are now actually active duty soldiers. There is one in particular. This guy looks like you can reach out and touch him, and he is that warrior. He is that modern day warrior. And I know by being at the museum for the time that we had it open, everybody, the older people, just absolutely thought they were at awe of him. And the younger ones was like, oh, wow, okay, that's real cool. And I just think that the figures bring it all together. It gives it an experience that, to me, that's not at any of the other museums. I guess I'm kind of impartial to the Army Museum. I love the Army Museum. Volunteering is fun. And let me tell you why it's fun. because I'm going to encounter people every day. And I'm sure one of those people are going to say, okay, I'm here. What am I supposed to look at? And I'm going to say, come with me. Let me take you on a tour of a very great time that I had in the military and that all these other people had. So let's go through each gallery and let's see if you can put yourself in the shoes of the person that's in the gallery, or let's see if you could kind of relate to anything that's in the gallery. Close your eyes and then open your eyes and envision that you were living in this time when this particular war was going on, or these people were in the branch of service that they were in during this time frame. And I believe that if that happens, and I would have to make that happen for the person. And the reason why I say I would make it happen for the person is because, and it's not a cliche for me, I absolutely love the Army's history. I absolutely want to know everything I can know about the Army. I cannot learn all the artifacts at one time. There's so many of them, but I'm going to try to take what brain I have left and learn as many of them as I can, and to make sure that I continue with knowing that I represented the Army and the National Army Museum.